Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Fridays with the Ranger. I'm Ranger Bailey, and today we're going to be talking about sweetgrass and why it's important to the indigenous groups during the Lewis and Clark expedition, as well as today. So let's get started. Now first off, why do you think it's called sweetgrass? Do you think it tastes sweet or even smells sweet? I'll give you a second to think about that. Have you thought about it? Well, I'll tell you anyways. If you were to come across sweetgrass in the wild, you would notice it instantly. Why? Because it has almost a vanilla scent to it. The smell of sweetgrass is so strong that some people even use it as a perfume. This image shows how sweetgrass is usually found. It's a type of tall grass which can grow up to 2 feet with 3 flowered spikelets growing from the top. When sweetgrass is in season, which is May through July, it blooms as a vibrant green color, but when it's dried for its other uses, it turns to a very light brown color. So sweetgrass is a circumboreal plant, which means it likes to grow in the northern hemisphere of the earth. This means it grows in northern countries like Europe, northern Asia, as well as North America. But zooming closer into our neck of the woods, it can also grow in places like Iowa, South Dakota, Montana, and as far south as Arizona and New Mexico. This plant also likes to grow in low prairies as well as wet meadows to maintain the water that it needs to grow. So the scientific name for sweetgrass is called hieroclo, which in Greek translation means holy grass. From this, you might be able to infer just how sacred and important the grass was and still is today to indigenous people. Many well-known groups like the Omaha, Dakota, Lakota, Blackfeet, Cheyenne, Pawnee, Ponca, and Winnebago use sweetgrass in ceremonies. Continuing with the many uses of sweetgrass, as I described it before, it is a very distinguished smell, which is why it's so popularly used among different tribes. Even so, the Blackfeet tribe would take this dried sweetgrass and braid it, so then they could keep it on their person, so wherever they went, they would smell sweet. They would often even use it when they would rinse their hair, so it would give off a sleek shine, making their hair look happy and healthy. But not only is sweetgrass a great plant to help you smell good, it's also great for medicinal purposes and other spiritual cleansings. You can infuse it into a tea to help with pain relief, along with aiding a sore throat or other minor illnesses. But comparably, in spiritual medicine, sweetgrass was and is often used in cleansing like smudging or incense to help spiritual protection and to cleanse the body and soul. Many tribes often braid the grass first, then dry it out, and then burn it in order for the cleansing properties to be distributed. And lastly, surprisingly enough, sweetgrass is sturdy enough to be used in weaving baskets and bags. This is a very common practice to tribes in the coastal areas of the United States. Tribes such as the Ojibwe, Winnebago, Potawatomi, and Mohawk would make them. What they would do is they would dry out their sweetgrass and wrap it in a pattern to make coiled baskets. This craft wasn't very common to the plains region of the United States, so instead they used rawhide from bison to make their bowls and other containers, since bison were more populated to that region of the U.S. I've included an image of what the coiled baskets look like. In the picture, there's various baskets of different shapes and sizes, all being a light brown and beige color. The practice is very tedious and takes a lot of time and patience to achieve this craft. Overall, sweetgrass is a pretty versatile plant. It has many uses and was very sacred to indigenous tribes back then and continues to prove that today in their cultures. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video and tune in next time for another Fridays with the Ranger. Bye everyone!